What is feminism? Feminism is the fight for women's rights. Feminism is a range of social movements, political movements, and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes. Feminism does not only involve women, it also affects men. It strives to end not only discrimination against women, but violence as well. The feminist movement is a huge movement that, with men as allies, can create social change sooner. When did feminism start? Elizabeth Cady was a woman that was not content with men having more rights and opportunities than women. Due to her duties as a mother, she was not in the front line of the fights for women's rights, but she was always active behind the scenes. It began in July of 1848, led by Elizabeth Cady, a young mother who attempted to organize the first convention for women's rights movements in New York. Elizabeth Cady also helped write the Declaration of Sentiments. The Declaration of Sentiments was a document that listed the ways men oppressed women. After the fight for women's rights began, the movement became more popular and more women began to join, and men as well. The Declaration of Sentiments listed ways men oppressed women. Just to name a few, men were preventing women from owning land and earning wages, preventing them from voting, just to name a few. Feminist sociology, also known as feminist theory. Feminist sociology is informative because it is a conflict theory and theoretical perspective that focuses on gender and its power. Feminist sociology is also a statement that women have been oppressed and that men are more dominant in society. Conflict theory allows us to see the unequal treatment of women, not only in society but in their families as well. For example, gender roles. Older generations believe that women should be stay-at-home mothers and the fathers should be the breadwinners. Digging a little deeper into gender roles, there are certain jobs seen as feminine, such as nurses, teachers, and other jobs seen as masculine, such as doctors and mechanics. Women are expected to stay out of politics. Sexism can affect even the smallest aspects of life, for example, even hairstyles. There are several different types of feminists. First being radical feminism, second, socialist feminism, third, cultural feminism. Radical feminism. Radical feminism views the world as a male-dominant society where women are not accepted. Radical feminism believes that sexism is extremely ingrained in society and that the only solution is to remove gender as a whole. It also believes that maternity leave is the reason why women aren't given the same work opportunities as men, and it demands a change. Most people confuse feminism with radical feminism, which causes majority of people to get the two ideologies confused. This type of feminism is considered the most extreme form of feminism there is. Socialist feminism. Socialist feminism was used in the 1970s to describe a mixed theoretical and practical approach to achieving women's equality. Socialist feminism focuses on both women oppression and other oppressions happening in society, for example, racism. Although it is less extreme than radical feminism, it still demands social change. Socialist feminism is a movement that wants to end capitalism through a socialist reformation of our economy. They believe that by equalizing the economy, they will equalize society.
That have been pushing for protective labor legislation. They're also the group that founded or helped to found the Women's Trade Union League. They're the group that helped to establish equal rights feminism when working class women were pushing for the suffrage. They're basically rooted in the reform tradition of feminism that we've seen since the late 1890s.
Cultural feminism. Cultural feminism is a movement that illustrates how continuing to promote masculinity has hurt society, and that encouraging more feminine behavior can help make a change in how society views women. Society sees men as strong, smart, and brave, while they portray women to be sensitive, weak, and delicate. It also tends to view feminine qualities as superior for the advancement and growth in society. As an example of the change cultural feminists want to bring would be what is commonly known as rape culture. They want to change the way boys are taught to interact with girls, for example, teaching boys to respect girls and their bodies rather than telling girls to cover up. Another example would be teaching boys about consent at a young age. Relation to course. In this course, we have learned about gender conflict theory, which is related to feminism because they both address gender inequality. An example involves the injustices women experience and the lack of opportunities they have compared to men. In a video provided for us to see in the module section, Harriet Martineau and Gender Conflict Theory, Crash Course Sociology number 8. It mentions how some universities did not accept female students until the 1970s. The conflict theory allows us to see the unequal, unjust treatment women experience compared to men. For example, the gender pay gap. It is the difference in salary between men and women with the same credentials while performing the same job. Women with the same abilities and qualifications as men still earn less. Feminism in recent years. Feminism is a social movement like every other. It has supporters, but it also has many people opposing the movement. In 2016, feminists were really offended because of how President Trump speaks, treats, and refers to women. When he was elected president, many feminists protested against him, and many women came out publicly stating he harassed them. This caused young women and men to come out and join the movement. For example, supporters of feminism created the Me Too movement, which spoke against sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and violence against women and men. This movement exposed a range of people such as movie producers and politicians, including Donald Trump, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Clinton, and Matt Lauer. Feminism has gained many supporters who are dedicated and want to see change in society regarding how women are treated, not only for themselves, but for the generations that are to come.
Heroes like Ashley and Simone and Gabby, Michaela and Gaga, Rosario, Ali, remind me this is the beginning, it is not the finale, and that's why we're here, and that's why we rally. It's Olympians and a medical resident, and not one fucking word from the man who is president. It's about closed doors and secrets and legs and stilettos from the Hollywood Hills to the projects and ghettos.